You can earn $100,000 from an item you obtain just by playing a video game? So check this out. The 2 times new extraction looter shooter, DeadDrop, is either going to be the most innovative and successful first-person shooter ever made, with plenty of real opportunities to make real money by trading items that are found in-game. You can also grow quickly as a content creator or streamer while playing it, and bank off of the rising popularity this new extraction looter shooter genre is going to be experiencing over this next year. Or it's going to be a catastrophic disaster on a level that is yet to be seen in the gaming world. Because just a few days ago, Dr. Disrespect put out a new tweet that elevated this game's development to the most intriguing upcoming shooter that you need to be following. He said, imagine trying to extract with an item you discovered worth $100,000 on the chain or the blockchain. Think about entertainment value as a viewer, let alone player. A new PvP experience is upon us. The concept of digital collectibles in an online game is so exciting to me, especially an extraction type of game. People saying scam and are just brain dead headline followers, same people that spend a ton on skins for an annual release game. Shots fired at Call of Duty, and by the way, same skins everyone has too. Now, before we go any further, there's a lot of implications from this tweet, and I need to make it very clear that I don't know shit about NFTs. I know that it stands for non-fungible token, and I've seen some pictures of some monkeys worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I'm not an expert and I won't claim to be. And that doesn't mean that I can't provide my insight when it comes to how they can affect DeadDrop the game. And I swear if some crypto nerd tells me or any of my sexy subscribers down in the comments that we can't have an opinion on this because we don't understand NFTs, I will find you and I will your dad. Now, to understand how this could turn into an absolute disaster while simultaneously having a massive opportunity for unprecedented success, you need to comprehend and grasp what DeadDrop actually is, and the current state of the game, which is in a very early pre-alpha build as of the latest update. I actually just got to hop in and test it out myself, and to be honest, it wasn't at all what I expected. The setting is about as dystopian cyberpunk, Blade Runner, retro futurism as you'd expect from a game being made by the Doc. But obviously he's not alone. The development team he founded, Midnight Society, is creating a world set in the year 2020B. In an alternate reality where we've been in climate wars for 40 years, population and pollution levels are skyrocketing, cities erect these massive refiner states, mega structures that are built to extract toxins from the stratosphere, which is hilarious because that was exactly what was prescribed to fix the pollution situation by Joe Rogan to Elon Musk during one of his podcasts a couple years ago. Elon wasn't impressed. Now, these towers are self-governed city-states with only one export: space dust. Of course, a concentrate from the refined pollutants that's bricked, cut, and sold to an addicted populace of the sprawling urban cities surrounding the structures. So the premise sounds like an 80s thriller movie starring Harrison Ford or Jeff Bridges or something. And this sets the stage perfectly for the unique gameplay players experience when you drop in. Now, before you start a raid, you build your loadout comprised of primary and secondary weapon slots, a backpack slot that allows you to equip small, medium, or large backpacks to carry more items, including NFTs, to attempt to extract from the map with. 2 slots for armor, 1 for helmet, 1 for chest that can be equipped, then finally a slot for gadgets that can be used for tactical advantages in the match, and a healing slot to hold items like bandages to bring your health back up after an engagement. You have a stash just like in Escape from Tarkov that'll hold all the weapons, cortexes from enemy players' visors, which is basically functioning like dog tags, ammo, gadgets, healing items, and collectibles that could very well be worth real money on the blockchain, all of which you're going to have to extract with from these refiner states. When you load into a raid, you're going to spawn in with your loadout at a random location in one of these towers, likely at the very bottom or close to it. Besides the NFT stuff we're going to talk about here shortly, this is where the game kind of sets itself apart. And Midnight Society has even branded itself as the first VES, or vertical extraction shooter. Everything else we played in this genre, with Escape from Tarkov, Call of Duty's DMZ, The Cycle Frontier, Marauders, all of them are horizontally based maps. Yeah, they have some vertical elements here and there, but nothing in the game that's forcing players up a tower while they try to loot and survive. In DeadDrop, there is an elemental force known as the freeze that will slowly take over the entire tower, starting at the bottom and working its way up. Players caught within the freeze will quickly have their health depleted until you reach higher ground. Along your journey up, there is proximity chat, allowing you to form sketchy short-term parlays with randos, which can help you survive longer or get you backstabbed pretty quick.
Meet new people and meet new friends, but also... Whoa, 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 whoa.
Stop.
Oh, okay, I stopped. Why'd you shoot him?
I don't trust that guy. He didn't know how to use his mic.
Oh, yeah, you can't trust them. Whoa, what the f***, Energies?
You're streaming this game. I don't trust streamers.
For better or for worse, proximity chat should really be in every upcoming PvP game at this point. If you don't agree with anything else that I say, you have to agree with that. Now, temporary squatting or not, the objectives of DeadDrop are a little less set in stone than any of the other extraction looter shooters on the market right now, offering each player that's willing to take more risk increasing rewards. In the bottom right, you see a countdown timer that is tied to different phases with multiple events being triggered throughout. Your main goal is to survive and extract with the items that you've obtained. There's an exfil chopper that'll land on a helipad near the top of the tower and allow one player to get on before the final phase, as well as zipline that any player can take to extract so long as they get there before it's gone. At the end of the final phase, the peak of the map will grant one final extract in the form of a lift that will successfully exfil any player on its platform. But here's the kicker. If you're to kill any of the other players that are left and you become the last man standing, the match will end immediately and you'll be gifted a bonus care package with potentially some really high-end items inside. During my playthrough, this led to some crazy unpredictable endings to the match. Sometimes you'd have 10 players left at the end, all gathered in the center, agreeing to a truce so that we can all make it out with what we have. And sometimes there'd just be like 3 of us exchanging fire from covered positions till we're forced to run to the middle and be the one that makes it to the lift, or kills the other players and gets the winning bonus. It makes for some chaotic finales for sure. What's even more interesting is the way that they deal with death in DeadDrop. Unlike the other exfil looter shooters where if you die, you're done and are immediately returned to your loadout screen, you have 2 extra lives for most of the match, called sins. They're basically synthetic versions of the player that will spawn in at a random location on the map after you die with just a pistol and give you an opportunity to make it back to your backpack and try to grab your gear or kill another player and exfil with their stuff to replace what you just lost. This, in my opinion, is going to lead to much more risky plays more often, as you get a second and even third chance if you end up dying. This is an interesting concept that I think casual players will appreciate much more and gives players a bit more relief after a death. Currently, DeadDrop is in a pre-alpha state, so all the gameplay elements that you're seeing are subject to change and definitely will have major additions to the content as well as overall visuals. Midnight Society calls their large patch notes snapshots. As of now, we are on Snapshot 5. And really, if you follow back to the original reveal last summer, the game has improved a lot since then and shows tons of potential on multiple different fronts. But before we talk about that, now that you know what the game is, we can talk about the potential catastrophic disaster at hand. So going back to Doc's tweet, let's roleplay. And no, simmer down furries, not like that. While we're in this little fantasy section of the video, I'd like you to also take a second and envision yourself staying in the loop of what's happening with DeadDrop's development over the next few months, as well as in the know with any of the upcoming extraction looter shooters, like the one that PUBG just announced that they're making, The Division Heartland, or Bungie's upcoming first entry into the genre. If you're as sexy as I think you are and need a source to keep you up to date on these upcoming extraction shooters, like DeadDrop, consider subscribing. For all other roleplay scenarios, follow my dad on OnlyFans. Now where my furry's at. But for serious, this. Let's pretend that there is an item in DeadDrop that's worth $100,000 on the blockchain, or $20,000, hell, even $200, that upon extracting with, you can literally sell on OpenSea and put money into your bank account faster than if you bought GameStop shares on Robinhood back in January of 2021. Now picture that you have it. You're in game, you have an extremely valuable NFT in your backpack, and you're headed to the chopper exfil. When all of a sudden you hear an ominous voice through proximity chat say,
Ooh, that's a big NFT you have in your backpack there. Would be a shame if somebody stole it.
and before you can even respond, you get insta-killed through a wall. You've just been cheated out of a sweet payday by a wall hacker. Now, in any other situation, in any other game, you'd be pissed that you just lost your loadout, that you probably grinded for, worked hard to put together, but you just lost actual money, and a lot of it. So you report the player and make it known that you actually had a pretty expensive collectible in your backpack when you died. So the player gets banned, you get your loadout back, but that anonymous player obviously has countermeasures in place to ensure that they cannot be tracked. They do a quick sell of that NFT on OpenSea, take the money, and run. Also, because DeadDrop is a free-to-play game, they just made another account and got ready to do it over again. On top of that, because this is the best opportunity a cheater has ever had to not only ruin somebody's day, but literally get paid good money to do it, DeadDrop is now infested with cheaters, like no game has ever been before, resulting in a completely unplayable experience for actual players. Now, like I said earlier, I'm dumb on this topic. I have no idea how all the NFT stuff works, but I do know cheaters. Having played Escape from Tarkov and the Cycle Frontier specifically, cheaters have been a plague on the extraction looter shooter genre that completely ruins these games. In a normal FPS, you just die, and then you respawn after you're killed by a hacker. That's it. But in these games, you lose everything. Whatever you brought in with your loadout and entered the raid with, as well as anything that you picked up along the way and any mission progress you might have made is gone. That alone, trust me, can be overwhelmingly frustrating. Now we're throwing real-world money opportunities into the mix. The incentive to cheat will be unprecedented. Now, I will give Midnight Society the benefit of the doubt, as they have to understand the dilemma that's going to be going on. And I'd expect them to actively be thinking of solutions to this problem as their primary concern before we're launching. Like maybe, and once again, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but maybe each NFT item has a specific tracking number that if sold or moved in any way from the game to your crypto wallet, they can find exactly where it is, hopefully reprimand the cheater who's in possession of it in potentially a criminal way, and then return it to its rightful owner. That would be the only way that I could see this working. Like if they were able to put some sort of freeze on the item till they got it back to the player that had it. But still, is there not going to be people that are smart enough in random regions of the world where the laws may be a little bit loose that can figure out what Midnight Society's process is, evade that system, and still profit and get away with it? Like, yeah, how will that be dealt with? Like, I want to make it clear that I actually find the gameplay loop from just playing a few hours so far extremely addicting, even in the state that it's in. And I really do think that the ideas that the doc and his dev team have is the literal future of gaming. So I want to see this succeed. I would love to have a game out that actually rewards players with real money that grind hard and put those hours in. That sounds awesome, but are we there yet? To where this kind of system could be protected and function as intended. My heart says, but my brain says no. Now, I do think if they were to consider utilizing the NFTs as some sort of prize that can be attained in pre-planned and professional tournament systems for their game, with verified contestants that can compete to extract with these items in a monitored setting, that would be incredible to watch, first of all, as well as much safer than having them randomly available in any given match. Look, having done interviews on my channel with many prominent developers of games like Scum, the Cycle Frontier, and Dead Matter, what I think would most benefit this community and really anybody that's interested in the game is an interview with whoever at Midnight Society can give me the most information about what they plan to do about this problem, as the public has absolutely nothing right now except speculation. If that's something that you guys would like to see, let me know down in the comments below and I'll reach out and see what I can get for us. Okay, so we've got that bad out of the way. Now we can talk about the fun stuff. Let's assume for 1 minute that they know something we don't, and they do have a full plan in place to counter digital theft of highly valuable items in game. The gameplay loop, like I just stated in the last section, is extremely addicting. This extraction looter shooter genre is already shaping up for the next big boom, like we had with battle royales back in 2017. Right now, the market for these games kind of reminds me of Goldilocks. Now, bear with me. Stupid. Escape from Tarkov is the soup that's too hot for the overwhelming majority of the gaming world, which is mostly made up of casuals. It's just too much. It shouldn't be controversial when I say that Tarkov is the best extraction looter shooter on the market, period. There really is no other game that does it better. With that said, it's also the most complex. Before you can truly enjoy the game, if that's even possible, you need to understand how the ballistics system works, the vast medical system, learn the maps and spawn locations, know the different types of ammo and what's best to use and when, as well as leveling your character enough to have access to the items that are going to make you a formidable threat. To have access to the items that are going to make you a formidable threat. This requires quite a bit of dedication that most players do not have. Now, the audience that can handle that is pretty large and feel like they finally found their ultimate game and will likely only play EFT for the foreseeable future. But there's an even larger market of players looking for more hardcore and tactical gameplay, just with less investment. Then on the opposite end, we have Call of Duty's new DMZ mode, which from my perspective is the soup that Goldilocks thinks is too cold. It is heavily streamlined so that it's basically digestible for all casual players, but to the point where there really isn't any deep progression and customization that gives players what they're looking for in this genre. It's easy to pick up and play, but after a couple of months, there isn't really a whole lot to keep you involved. I have made an insane amount of videos on this specific topic, so I'm not just gonna beat a dead horse, but it's just not what I think the bulk of this niche community is looking for. So now we're left with Goldilocks looking for the game that's just right. This is where DeadDrop has the most opportunity. With the NFT stuff completely aside, from the gameplay that I've been able to participate in thus far, the streamlined extraction shooter aspects are there. Currently, there's 4 weapon classes, color-coded to blue for ARs, DMRs and LMGs, green for pistols and SMGs, red for shotguns, and purple for snipers, with all the ammo matching with their applicable colors. The healing system is relegated to bandages that can heal you for a set amount and can be carried in one specific inventory slot. There are 3 backpack sizes and armor that is simplified to light, medium, and heavy. That's about as streamlined without removing the possibility for different builds and playstyles that it can get, but not so much so that it removes all the depth and progression that should be present in a game in this genre. You have a massive stash that can hold up to 1,000 items, allowing you to bring back anything that you find in a raid. And then there's a hideout, similar to Tarkov, that we really don't have that much information on yet, but with them using the exact same name as what EFT has, I would expect this part of the game to be for utilizing some of the items you can extract with from the raids to upgrade certain features that will help your character progress. Now, because of the simplification of other systems, I doubt that they're going to go as in-depth as Tarkov with this hideout, but maybe more along the path of the Cycle Frontiers Players' Quarters, where you have an upgradable tree that will allow you to unlock things using rare items that you've found, like faster crafting times at the crafting bench, an income generator that every hour will deposit in-game currency to the player's wallet that can be used at the traders, and things like that. As soon as we get more information on how this hideout system is going to work, I'll make a full-length video showcasing it for you guys. Now, the most important factor to DeadDrop's success is how the gameplay loop actually feels once you drop into the refiner state. The map that we have available for Snapshot 5 is called Cold Storage, and it sounds like this is just going to be one of the many maps they're working on to diversify the experience. And even in its pre-alpha state, with the gunplay being a little wonky, the movement and vaulting feeling a bit off, the PvP and progression through the match of being pushed further and further upwards by the freeze as less and less of the map becomes available has has been super addicting. There are certain parts of the map that I've found that are a bit OP and almost encourage camping, especially once you get closer to the peak and the end of the match. But throughout the alpha stages, I'll assume that they're gonna recognize these choke points and will give them a bit more nuance. Honestly though, some of the most fun that I had playing so far is from the proximity chat. There is no push to talk in the game right now, and it's automatically turned on when you first load in. So pretty much every player that I've come across is mic'd up. What's up, bro? What's up?
From that way. Yeah, it is from that way.
What way? Ah! They killed me!
No!
They killed me!
You killed.
Oh, he killed you too! No! Now, with all of this stuff put together, and what Midnight Society has already shown on their website, with keys not yet available for PlayStation and Xbox, hinting that this will be a cross-platform game, there is a lot of opportunity for DeadDrop to gain a massive following of gamers looking for something more than just mindless PvP with no consequences. That requires a bit more strategy and consideration without overwhelming the majority of potential players with complicated and over-excessive game mechanics. We just really need more info on their plans with the NFT stuff. That's what's gonna make or break this game, and they have to be good on the communication about it. And hey, if you wanna see some live gameplay, or maybe you have some questions to ask about DeadDrop, our channel has been given unlimited access to stream and show off the game over on Twitch. Come by and check out the live stream. I love when we get new people coming over from our YouTube channel. The link for that is down in the pinned comment below. Then check out everything that we know about the upcoming Extraction looter shooter that the PUBG devs just announced. This one you should be pretty excited about as well. See you there.